All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pozios Picks. We've got a bonus episode for you guys today, the Super Bowl 57 episode. To help me out today, we've got Tom back in the studio. Tom,
How's it going?
welcome back. Thanks for
Thanks.
coming, brother. It's been a long time since we've done an episode. I'm excited for this one. Really good game coming up on Sunday. We've got three categories to go over: novelty props, player props, and then we're going to talk about the game itself. So, novelty props I'm rolling with. Coin toss. I got to take tails. Tails was so good for me for, I think it hit 5 in a row. And then we've lost the last two. But I'm going to stay on tails. I'm taking the over in the national anthem as well, just for America. Do you know who's singing it? I have no idea
No, I
who's
don't.
singing it. But whoever's singing it, we're taking the over. Some other novelty style props they've actually been on the books for most of the playoffs, but Super Bowl, they're always there. Opening kickoff, not to be a touchback, plus 115. I love that play. We got the intel with Pat McAfee 2 years ago, how he said they use a brand new ball for the opening kickoff of the Super Bowl. It's not broken in. It's solid. They kick it. And, if it's returnable at all, I feel like people want to take it out. It's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember Bucker's got a good leg on him, and he can definitely boot it, but I don't know about Elliott getting it back there, especially with a new ball. So if you're going to take that one, at least hope that Philly gets it first.
Yeah, 100%. And then another one I took, which I like, it's a little risky. It's even money. First touchdown distance, under 7.5 yards.
Yeah, I like
I
that
like it just because I feel like the Eagles are going to ground and pound, and I think that the Chiefs are going to come out and try to establish the run because the biggest weakness of the Eagles' defense is against the run. So I feel like they're going to lean on Pacheco early, get in there, and I feel like they score a lot of short passing touchdowns too. Anyway, so at even money, I like that, under 7.5 yards. Plus, if the Eagles get in there, if they get in within 5 yards, they're just going to push Hurts in. So those are the novelty props. Did you have no novelty?
Yeah, the only novelty one that I'm remembering that I'm going to put down some on is the over of the jersey number. The jersey number over under the first touchdown score is at 11.5.
Yeah, I like
I
that.
definitely like the over for that. The key players that would be for the over would be Kelsey, who's got the best odds to score first, and then Miles Sanders is also up there. Hurts is under 11.5.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest concern right now. But I think that I like the over there.
Yeah, that's good too. And sneaky Mahomes could get into Tony's above 11.5. Scantling too. You got a lot of options over 11.5. It's tough with Hurts, and what's Pacheco's 10, isn't he?
Pacheco's under, yeah.
Okay.
But also another one that is a little sneaky there. I think is Boston Scott. I think if Miles Sanders gets a lot of work, they love Scott near the goal line, and he's 35, so I like that.
That's
as well.
big. Goddard too. You have on your side. That's big. I like that. So that's it for novelty. Let's get into some player props. Tom, what do you got for player props? Because I got a few that I really, really like.
Yeah, I've got a few as well. So one of my first ones, it was kind of everything MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I love, you were talking about this earlier, but his over for receptions right now, I believe, is at 2.5.
Yeah, I love that.
So I love that. And if I'm going to take that, I'm probably going to parlay it with him getting at least 40 yards. So I know on FanDuel they have different bands of 25 plus, 40 plus, and you can take from there. My go-to there, I think, is going to be MVS 2.5 over receptions, and I'm going to try parlaying that with 40 plus yards. I think if he gets 2.5, or if he gets 3-4 receptions, I can definitely see that going over 40.
Yeah. I love that 100%. That was on my list too. MVS over 2.5 receptions. We saw it last game. He got really involved, and Tony and Juju are questionable. It looks like, guys always play in the Super Bowl if they're questionable, and they might not be 100%. They might come out early. So I think his usage is going to be high anyway. So I had that too. I love MVS over 2.5 receptions. Staying on the Chiefs, for me, I like Kelsey over 7.5 receptions. It's a high number, but I think he's going to have at least 10, 11, 12 targets, especially down the stretch. If they get down, they're going to lean on him, especially without the deep threats there with Tony, Juju. We'll see how the game goes, but I love that play over 7.5 receptions for Kelsey.
Yeah, I know. I also had, but the juice is high on this one, so you're either going to want to like put down a little more money than you would on a regular straight bet. But Mahomes to throw over 1.5 touchdowns. I really did most of my looking on FanDuel. That's sort of the book that I use the most. I know I'm sure on DraftKings you can find 2.5 or more. I don't know what the exact juice is on that, but I think the last time I saw for him to throw 1.5 over was minus 190, I think. So, like I said, pretty heavy juice there, but I don't see him throwing less than 1.5.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. That kind of goes into one of my next ones too. Is this one's a little riskier because of Hurts and how the Eagles have been running the ball, and especially once, like we said, once they get within the red zone, they really just like to lean on that O-line. But both quarterbacks to have 2 passing touchdowns, so that's parlaying Mahomes 1.5 and Hurts 1.5 is plus 175, which I think the value's there for that, especially since Mahomes feels like a lock for that, especially if they get down, they're gonna have to throw. Plus, they've come out and run a lot, but then they're gonna go back to what they do and throw the ball eventually. So both quarterbacks to throw 2 passing touchdowns plus 175. I really like that.
Yeah, me too.
Any other props?
From the Chiefs side, no. I've got one that I really like from the Eagles, though.
Okay, I've got 2 more on the Chiefs side. This one's riskier, but I really like it based on what we've seen out of him, especially like in Super Bowl performances before. I know the ankle's iffy, but Mahomes over 19.5 rush yards feels really, really good to me, especially with this Eagles pass rush. He's had 2 weeks off. I mean, we saw it. He was able to, I mean, that was a crazy play at the end of the AFC Championship game. But with 2 weeks on top of that, I think he's going to be able to move a little bit. We saw it, especially the last one they had against the Buccaneers. I think his total was around this, 21.5, 22.5. He had it in the first drive he had it. I mean, it's the Super Bowl. Guys are going to put their body on the line. They're not going to be sliding as much. If they can get out and run, they're going to get out and run. The ankle does concern me, but over 19.5 yards, I really, really like, especially if he's got a 15-yard scramble in him. That should cash easy. So Mahomes over 19.5 rush yards, I like. And then I'm also going to take Pacheco over 46.5 rush yards because of what we said, the glaring weakness, I guess, in the Eagles' defense is the run. I think they're first or second against the pass in the NFL, and then they're like 15 or 16 against the run. So Pacheco's looked really good. He runs hard. If he gets downhill, he can bust out a big run. So over 46.5 rush yards for Pacheco as well. And then what do we got for the Eagles?
Yeah, so the Eagles, the one that I really like is Quez Watkins over 12.5 receiving yards. I know we talked about this earlier, but it's even money right now. It's plus 100 on FanDuel. And Quez has gone, I believe, under in the last 2 playoff games that they've been in against the 49ers and the Giants. But one of the things that you kind of have to take into account is that they were blowing both teams out and didn't really need to throw the ball much. Quez is the third wide receiver in 3 wide receiver sets behind Brown and Smith. So they really like to go to him, and when they do, they like to take deep shots. All we need him to do is connect with one of those, and we'll be good. In the last games, he had some targets, though. It wasn't like he went targetless. But we're really looking at just about like 2 to 3 targets should be all that we need to get over that, and I really like that.
Yeah, I like that too. I'm going to throw that in for sure. And then for my last player, this is my last player prop. Kind of the same tune as Mahomes. I'm going to take Hurts over 49.5 rush yards. This one's a little risky too, but like I said, it's the Super Bowl, and especially with him, like if he sees a gap, he's going to get out and run, especially on third down, things like that. They're going to be worried about Smith and Brown. I think he's going to get out and run. And even in games that he hasn't run a lot, like kind of the Niners game, he's always got a big one in him. I think he ended up with like 45, 46 rush yards, even in that Niners game when they were obliterating them. So Hurts over 49.5, kind of the same idea as Mahomes. It's the Super Bowl. Quarterbacks are going to scramble if they have the opportunity. They're not trying to get injured. I mean, there's nothing left. Any touchdown scores at all time? I have one touchdown score.
Yeah, I have one. Mine is going to also be Jalen Hurts.
I
I really
that.
like his ability to scramble, and not just that, when they get down inside the 1 or even like 2 yard line,
Oh, yeah.
they've shown the willingness to just put him right under center, put 2 running backs or a running back and a fullback behind him, and just push him forward behind his O-line. And, I mean, they even did it they were able to do it against the 49ers.
Yeah.
He's got one of the best defensive lines in the NFL, and they did it 3 straight times, I think, but it was at least twice, and then he got in. So I really like that. And if not, they'll roll him out, read options. You'll have a lot of opportunities to get in there. And at even money, I think it was, or plus 110, I'm really willing to take that.
Yeah, I'm taking that as well, just because of what you said. I think, too, like, with the first-time head coach there, first-time quarterback playing in the Super Bowl, they're not going to take any risks. They know that works. I mean, and like you said, they did it. They'll do it 4 times in a row. They'll do it first down through 4th down. They don't care. And they're going to get in. That O-line's really good. I like that a lot at even money or plus 1. I think it's anywhere around there. I have a touchdown score, long shot parlay. I got to throw one of these in. Kelsey, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Kadarius Toney. Toney's the concerning one for me because of the injury, but I feel like he's going to get involved too. He's going to get involved. So that's plus 6,500, nice. 65 to 1. So I mean, throw $5 on that. You're going to have a really good night. $300 plus payout. So that's my long shot touchdown score parlay. Let's get into the game now. So my pick, I'm going to take the Chiefs money line for a few reasons. The first one being the Eagles haven't played a great offense in the playoffs yet. We talked about that. But they really haven't played a great offense this year. And when they have played decent offenses, they've given up a bunch of points. Even against below average offenses, they've given up a bunch of points. I'm a little concerned about that. I'm concerned about the Eagles' run defense a little bit, especially if the Chiefs can establish the run and then work in play action and passing, and Mahomes' ankle looks okay. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop them down the stretch. Andy Reid's going to open the playbook. Everything's going to be available. But like I was saying, like they gave up 35 points to the Lions, 21 to the Jags, 17 to the Texans, 32 to the Commanders, 33 to the Packers. The Giants put 22. The Cowboys scored 40 down the stretch there. Like, this defense is good, and it's getting a lot of hype, and it should. But I don't think that it's on this level that a lot of people are, it feels like to me, are putting it up at. So I'm going to take the Chiefs. I just think the offense throughout the game, Mahomes getting into a rhythm, especially if he's healthier. I just think that offense and Andy Reid's play calling is going to be a little bit too much for Sirianni and the Eagles. Also, the Chiefs have been here before. Andy Reid's been here before. Andy Reid revenge game is a storyline with it too. So I'm going to take the Chiefs money line. That'll be my official play for like the game. I'm not going to touch the spread. I'm just going to take them money line.
Yeah, so I've kind of been wavering. I don't really know if this is considered part of the game bet or not, but this might also be considered a prop. But one of the ones that I also like, this is sort of falls under the the game, is the Chiefs to score over 12.5 points in the second half.
I like that.
You can find that on FanDuel. I'm not sure about any other books, but I'm sure you can find it. I really like that. I think I can at least see them scoring a touchdown and 2 field goals to hit that. And then as far as my game pick, I'm really wavering. I think I want the Eagles to win. I went to school in Philly for a while, and I got a bunch of friends over there.
Yeah.
But I kind of agree with you on, and I think one of the things that's overlooked is I think that the Chiefs' defense is very underrated.
Yeah, it's good.
They had a great game. They were able to, not completely shut down Burrow in that in the championship game.
Yeah.
But they played great. They played as well as they could. I mean, Burrow lit up the Bills' defense, and he wasn't able to do it against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And they were able to somewhat stop the run. I think that Philly's path to victory is going to be to really, really establish the run and then just hit the short throws. I think that Hurts has to be accurate. He's got to be quick to release the ball, because if he's able to do that, that can even open up their run game, and they can kind of go back to that. But if I had to take one play on the game, I'm probably going to take Chiefs plus 1.5. I really like it.
Mm.
The only thing that scares me is I did see a stat that teams that get like the line movement goes the other way. So, for example, the Eagles started this with their line of +1.5, and it moved down to -1.5 within like a day or two.
Yeah.
And I've seen that teams, I think I saw the stat, it was like 14-4 against the spread and like 13-2 straight up. A little scary, but I
Yeah.
still think that you're right with the Chiefs, and I think their defense is a part that's being overlooked. So I'd take the Chiefs +1.5.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, and that's a really good point. The Chiefs' defense has been really good. Frank Clark and I'm blanking on Chris Jones have been really, really good up front. And like you said, they outside of Burrow scrambling for a couple of those big plays, Mixon and Pirine combined for 41 yards. So, I mean, they were able to shut down that run game when they looked really, really good against the Bills. So, the Chiefs' defense is solid. I like the pass rushing up front. I mean, I think it's gonna be a really, really good game. I get sucked into this pick every year too. I've got one more. I'm gonna take the over 50.5. I don't like it. Super Bowls always go under. It feels like everyone's putting everything on the line. But these are two really, really good offenses. I mean, we've seen the Eagles on offense all year. They can throw, they can run, Hurts can move, and then the Chiefs are the Chiefs. It's 50.5. I really think for this to hit, we've got to – the thing that concerns me is like a 3-0 first quarter. That's what concerns me a lot because the Eagles have been really good in the second quarter all year. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs are good later in the game too. But if we get like a 3-0 first quarter, it's going to be tough. I'd love to see like someone come out, whoever gets the ball, and score right away. I think that'd be great for the over. I'm going to take the over 50.5. I'm not in love with the pick, but I'm going to put that on my card as well.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because I was actually looking at quarter over and unders. And Vegas is thinking exactly what you are because for both the first and the third quarter, the over-under is 9.5, and then the second and fourth are both 14.5.
Yeah.
So I think what I might do is I really want to take the over too. It's always so much more fun to be on it.
Yeah.
And I think these offenses, once they finally get the butterflies out and they can get working a little bit, I think what I'm going to do is wait to live bet it and then take the over once I can see a couple drives go through, and hopefully I can get it at like a better number.
Yeah, I like that. But that is it for picks. It's going to be a great Super Bowl. You have any other picks, Tom?
No, that was it. That was it.
All right, awesome. I mean, it should be a really, really good game. A really close line. I think this is the closest line in a while. I think the Rams were 3.
Yep.
Chiefs Bucks was 3. It should be a really, really good game. Obviously, the Eagles, can they do it? Can they complete this big season? Has Hurts really arrived? And can they knock off the champs? I mean, even though they're not the defending champs, they're still the Chiefs. So can Mahomes get his second? We'll see. Should be a really, really good game. But that's going to do it for the episode. Thank you guys for listening. Good luck to everyone on your other picks and props. If you have a favorite pick or prop, be sure to drop it down in the comments below. We'd love to hear that because it's the Super Bowl. I'm going to unload the clip. So if someone's got a good prop, tell me why you like it. I'm more than down to tail. Be sure to follow us over on Pickit. Pickit is the best way to track all your apps, see exactly what everyone in the community is taking, turn our post notifications on. You'll see every single time that we take a bet. Also on Pickit now, it's been a while since we've done an episode, but you can copy bets directly from the app, put them right into your sportsbook. So make sure to follow us over on Pickit. Do that. See all of our picks. You guys know that we've got merch down in the description below. Get your merch, tees, hoodies, crew necks, sweatpants, all that good stuff. Tom, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks
Good
for
luck
having
with all
me.
your bets.
Good luck to everybody, too. It was great to be on.
Yeah, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.